Viewers, good evening. Thank you for joining us on India Front. The Shah Bano verdict announced in 1985 was a landmark case in India that has significant implications for the country's legal system, religious practices and social fabric. It sparked debates on the rights of women in Islamic law and the separation of personal laws from state laws in India. One of the most immediate implications of the Shah Bano verdict was the backlash it received from some Muslim groups who believed that the court's decision was an interference in their religious beliefs and practices. This led viewers to the Rajiv Gandhi government passing the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act in 1986 that essentially sought to override the Supreme Court ruling and give primacy to Islamic law over secular law for women to claim maintenance from their husbands after divorce. The implications of the Shah Bano verdict extend well beyond the legal sphere to the social and cultural domains of Indian society. It sparked discussions about gender equality, women's rights and the need to reform outdated personal laws that discriminate against women. The case brought to light the plight of many Muslim women who were denied their rights in divorce and highlighted the need for legislative reforms to protect their interests. This case has since then raised questions about the autonomy of personal laws in a secular state and the need to balance individual rights with community norms. Viewers, the debate around the case also brought attention to the need for uniform civil code in India, which would ensure equal rights for all citizens, regardless of their religion. It is in this light that we should see the Supreme Court verdict allowing Muslim women to avail maintenance through Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code, the CRPC. This verdict has underscored the importance of upholding the principles of gender equality and gender justice in face of religious and cultural traditions that have perpetuated discrimination and inequality. Today's verdict is a test of all the stakeholders, viewers, all stakeholders to the principles of secularism and equality before law. Sample what has been said, then we debate.
जैसे गुजारा भत्ता है, वो कहते हैं कि इस औरत से हमारा रिश्ता नहीं है, हमारे साथ रह नहीं रही है, तो हम इसका गुजारा भत्ता क्यों देंगे। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी था हम जैसे मुसलमान औरतों के लिए, क्योंकि जिन्हें हर बात पे शरीयत का नाम ले लेके परेशान किया जाता है। हम लोगों की एक तरीके से एक्सप्लॉयटेशन चलता है
कि ये मजहबी मामला है, मजहबी के साथ साथ ये अखलाकी मामला है। हमारी मॉरल वैल्यूज ये हमें इजाजत नहीं देती हैं कि जब हमारा कोई रिश्ता किसी से बाकी नहीं रहा तो फिर हम उसकी जिंदगी भर का खर्च उठाएं। तो ये मुझे लगता है कि इस पर नजरसानी करने की जरूरत है।
1985 शाह बानो केस आता है, सर्वोच्च न्यायालय का निर्णय एक गरीब मुस्लिम महिला को, शायद मुझे ध्यान नहीं है, 120 रुपए या कुछ ऐसे के आसपास का मेंटेनेंस देना था और उस समय यह लगता है कि यह शरिया के विरुद्ध है। तो तत्कालीन कांग्रेस सरकार जो स्वर्गीय राजीव गांधी जी के नेतृत्व में चल रही थी, उसने सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के निर्णय को रौंद कर संविधान से ऊपर शरिया को कर दिया था। मैं चुनौती से कहता हूं, दुनिया में एक सेकुलर देश बताइए जहां सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट से ऊपर शरिया होता हो। संविधान खतरे में था।
देखिए, मेरी निजी राय पूछेंगे या महिला कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष के तौर पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के इस फैसले का मैं स्वागत करती हूं, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ये फैसला ने महिला को महिला के तौर पर देखा है। अभी गुजरात के जो बीते चुनाव है, उसी में आपने बिल्किस बानो के 11 सामूहिक बलात्कारियों को छोड़ा, संस्कारी बताया। ये तो अभी की बात है। हाँ, अपने गिरेबान में झांकिए और चुल्लू भर पानी में डूब मरिएगा।
You heard the reactions. Let's open this up. Shazia Ilmi, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Ratan Sharda, author, Amber Zaidi, activist, Sanjay Jha, author, analyst, Asif Suhail, political analyst, Mariam Nasir Alvi, advocate, Yasmin Farooqi, the national secretary, general secretary of the SDPI, completes the panel. Yasmin Farooqi, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं, क्या आप स्वागत करती हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के इस फैसले का?
देखिए, मेरे समझ में नहीं आ रही है ये बात कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसला जो आया है, मैं पिछले पुराने टाइम में 10 साल मैंने फैमिली कोर्ट में काउंसलिंग की है और 2001 से बराबर मुस्लिम महिलाओं को आफ्टर डिवोर्स मेंटेनेंस मिल रहा है 125 में। तो इसमें नई क्या बात है, ये बात मेरे समझ में नहीं आ रही है। हो सकता है कुछ औरतें सुप्रीम कोर्ट चली गईं और उन्होंने कोई नया डिसीजन ले आया हो, तो कुछ ये नया तो है नहीं जिसके लिए मैं बोलूं। ये तो आप कहें तो मैं फाइलों की फाइलें उठा के दिखा सकती हूँ आपको, जिसमें तलाक के बाद मुस्लिम महिला को मेंटेनेंस मिला हुआ है और मिलता रहा है जब तक कि उसने दूसरी शादी नहीं कर ली। तो मेरे लिए तो ये नई बात नहीं।
नई बात तो नहीं है, लेकिन स्वागत योग्य है कि नहीं?
हेलो,
नई बात नहीं है यास्मीन जी, लेकिन स्वागत करेंगे आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले?
तो पहले ही हो चुका। 2005 से डीवीडी चल रहा है, 2001 से 125 में अब मेंटेनेंस मिल रहा है। तो अब इसमें जब जो चीज है उसका क्या स्वागत करूं, मुझे ये बता दीजिए। तो भी अगर आप कह रहे हैं तो कर लूंगी।
ठीक है, तो आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इससे। वेरी गुड। मरियम नसीर अलवी, हाउ डू यू सी द सुप्रीम कोर्ट वर्डिक्ट?
अरे तो क्या,
Well, this judgment is yet another case where we see that the Honorable Supreme Court and the government have yet again made it very difficult for Muslims to follow their religion. A Muslim marriage is a contract. Parties go into it with their consent. They apply their minds. And after the contract is over, one party has no business going around and saying, please impose additional, terms on this contract. So that's the heart of the flawed logic that this judgment has. If a marriage has not been instituted in the secular law, it makes no sense to allow cherry picking of reliefs given in the secular law. That is my opinion on this.
Okay, we are cherry picking on this, but how is this a disservice to Muslim women? How does it not allow them to practice their religion? Would you like to elaborate?
Because it tells young girls who are looking to marry that your liberation and your progression in life and society lies in the wallet of your ex-husband.
Okay. Shazia Ilmi, now you've heard the opening arguments of Yasin Farooqi and Maryam Alvi. What would you tell them?
I think it's very unfortunate. There's somebody like Maryam, I think that's what her name is, advocates and presents such a sexist and biased point of view when she knows that both the parties that she's talking about, the man and the woman, are not at all at power. She knows exactly what the socio-economic situation is for both the parties, that is both the genders, so to speak, and she knows how badly skewed chances and odds are against Muslim women when we talk about within the religion. So it is very sad that she would not have her Muslim sisters benefit of the laws of the land because she wants to support the personal laws above the law of the land. She who is an advocate, she who practices herself and practices the law of the land, who has no choice but to believe in the IPC and CRPC, doesn't want her Muslim sisters who have been thrown out ignominiously through talaq or divorce. She doesn't want them to seek maintenance for themselves. The Shah Bano case is a principle. There's something that happened is a best example in principle. 40 years back, an old senior Muslim woman asked for justice for herself, and all she wanted was a paltry sum of money to support her children. And you know what happened? Supreme Court gave the same judgment, and it was this very judgment which said that she can seek the provisions under CRPC, the same section, section 125, and get herself a better life and get maintenance. But tab Islam khatre mein aa gaya tha. It was considered to be an interference in the Muslim laws, and which is why Rajiv Gandhi government succumbed and caved to Muslim clergy. And you know what happened? It was just done because there was pressure from All India Personal Law Board. Since then, and she's right, the first speaker, यास्मीन जी बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं, ये कई बार सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसको कहा है, लेकिन
ये भी कह रही है शाजिया इल्मी, यास्मीन फारूकी इज ऑल्सो सेइंग कि सरकार ड्रामा कर रही है, ये कुछ नया नहीं है। यास्मीन जी
बिल्कुल नहीं है जी।
तो क्या देखिए
बिल्कुल मैं सही कह रही हूँ। एडवोकेट यहाँ बैठी हैं, आप उनसे पूछ लिए, अगर आप मुझे दोबारा मौका दें, आपको 50 फाइलें लाके दिखा दूं जिसमें 125 में मेंटेनेंस बंधा हुआ है औरतों का, और 2001 से चल रहा है ये।
भाई यास्मीन जी, आप ये बताइए कि मरियम अलवी ये कह रही हैं कि ये जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला है ये मुस्लिम महिलाओं को इस्लाम प्रैक्टिस करने से रोकता है।
सवाल मैं उसको नहीं बात कर रही।
नहीं, उस पे क्या लगता है आपको? क्या वो सही रीडिंग है? क्या आप उससे
समझ में नहीं आ रहा है? ऐसा कुछ नहीं। देखिए, जो रोक इस्लाम, सुनिए मेरी बात भाई मेरे, इस्लाम जो है वो आप कौन कितना मानता है, कितना, इतने सालों से 125 में मुस्लिम औरतें ले रही हैं ना, तो ले रही हैं। कौन सा इस्लाम ने उनको कत्ल कर दिया या फांसी पे चढ़ा दिया या कोई और? एक जो अभी वकील साहब ने बात कही, मैं उसी पॉइंट पे आके बात करूंगी कि जो मैरिज है, जो मुस्लिम मैरिज है, वो टोटली आपका एग्रीमेंट है। आप शादी के टाइम पे लिखवाओ ना कि मुझे इतना खर्चा चाहिए, तलाक का हक मेरा है, मैं जब चाहूं तलाक ले सकती हूँ, मेरा बाप जब चाहे तलाक। आप 50,000 चीजें उस निकाहनामे में लिखवाओ ना, और वो वैलिड होंगी, क्योंकि मुस्लिम जो निकाह है वो सीधा सा एग्रीमेंट है कि दो आदमी।
तो एक बात बताइए यास्मीन जी, तो ये एक बात बताइए, जो राजीव गांधी ने जो कानून लाया था, क्या वो कानून के आप खिलाफ हैं? क्या आप गलत मानती हैं उसको?
मैं 40 साल 80 साल पुरानी बातें, आप क्या 40 साल पुरानी बातों को लेके बैठे? क्या किया था उन्होंने?
नहीं, आपसे सीधा सवाल है, क्या आप उसको गलत मानती हैं?
125 CRP मुझे नहीं पता।
अच्छा, आपको नहीं पता, ठीक है, आपको नहीं पता तो कोई बात नहीं। जिनको पता है हम उनसे पूछेंगे, अंबर जैदी, रेस्पॉन्ड टू व्हाट मरियम अलवी हैज सेड।
10 सेकंड
दैट दिस शाजिया, ओके, मेक योर पॉइंट शाजिया, क्विकली मेक योर पॉइंट।
सिर्फ देखिए, सब जानते हैं राजीव गांधी के वक्त में क्या हुआ था, ये कह सकती है बहुत पुरानी बात है, लेकिन 2019 में क्या हुआ था, जब ट्रिपल तलाक को खत्म करने के लिए कानून बनाया जा रहा था, जब शायरा बानो जैसी 6-7 औरतें बाकायदा गई थी कोर्ट और कचहरी में, और उसको लेकर जब कानून बना था तो सबसे ज्यादा मुखालफत किसने की थी? कांग्रेस पार्टी ने, और ये सारे जितने भी उलेमा बैठे हैं उन सब ने, उनके साथ साथ ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड ने, जिन्होंने कहा कि गलत
get a response from Sanjay Jha in just a bit. I want to bring in Amber Zaidi. Amber Zaidi, quickly respond to what Mariam Alvi just said.
It's unfortunate to hear from a lawyer who is a practicing lawyer in a democratic country like India. And we are not living in Islamic Republic. We are living in a democratic setup, in fact, the largest democracy of the world. And the lawyer of our country are, supposedly they are propagating such statements and saying such biased and sexist statements against women of the country. Today's landmark judgment, I in fact would like to add that it is a bigger relief than a triple talaq judgment, because post triple talaq and other divorces, women were left out without any financial security.
No,
now
I understand that point, Amber Zaidi, but यास्मीन फारूकी कह रही हैं कि ये कुछ नया नहीं है। तो ये लैंडमार्क कैसे हुआ? जब इतने महिलाओं को मिल रहा है तो इसमें लैंडमार्क और नई बात क्या है?
Okay, then I would like to ask her, मैं उनसे पूछ लेती हूँ इस सवाल कि अगर ऐसा नया नहीं है तो फिर शाह बानो जी के जो रूलिंग आई थी सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरफ से, then राजीव गांधी गवर्नमेंट why they demanded the reversal of the judgment from the Supreme Court of India.
उसमें बोलेंगे वो पुरानी बातें हैं, अभी की बात कीजिए। वो सवाल मैं उनसे पूछ चुका हूँ।
पुरानी बात कैसे? अगर पुरानी बात होती तो फिर आज ऑफ कोर्स, बट पुरानी बात हो गई, पुरानी बात ही तो फिर ट्रिपल तलाक बिल भी नहीं आनी चाहिए था, फिर तो हमें यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड पे भी बात नहीं करनी चाहिए। डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल स्टेट पॉलिसी
2001 से 125 CRP से सबके मेंटेनेंस बंद रहे हैं, मुस्लिम हो या हिंदू या क्रिश्चियन या।
आज की बात करते हैं। आई वांट टू प्ले आउट अ रिएक्शन ऑफ ST हसन, समाजवादी पार्टी नेता ST हसन। He has said, देखिए तलाक की वजह होती है, अगर तलाक इस वजह से हुई है कि उसकी बीवी बहुत करप्ट थी, कहीं पर अवैध संबंध थे, क्या सुप्रीम कोर्ट उन्हें भी भत्ता दिलवाएगा अगर वो लिव इन में रह रहे थे? अब सुनिए, लेट्स जस्ट प्ले आउट व्हाट एसटी हासन हैज सेड।
लेकिन अगर किसी की बीवी करप्ट है, उसके अवैध संबंध है लोगों से, और उसके बाद उसने उसे तलाक दे दी और उसके बाद वो लिविंग रिलेशनशिप में रह रही है, तो क्या उसको भी भत्ता दिया जाए? क्या वो औरत जो दूसरा निकाह कर ले, क्या उसको भी भत्ता दिया जाए? सुप्रीम कोर्ट को इस पे विचार करना पड़ेगा कि तलाक की वजह क्या है।
आसिफ सोहेल, डू यू एंडोर्स दिस कमेंट बाय एसटी हासन?
जी सर, देखिए, मैं पहले तो मतलब एक कंफ्यूजिंग है ये जजमेंट जो सो अभी तक मैंने पढ़ा नहीं। अगर ये दिया है, देखिए, एक तरफ ट्रिपल तलाक में बताया जाता है आदमी को जेल भेजेंगे, तो मेंटेनेंस कहां से आएगा मुझे ये बताइए। पहली बार अगर आता है, देखिए, पहले इस्लाम में तो पहले से मेंटेनेंस दिया जाता है 90 दिन का, और ये मेंटेनेंस कब तक देगा उसकी भी क्लैरिटी नहीं है ना सर। देखिए, अगर ये लाइफ टाइम हो जाएगा तो ये लाइफ टाइम शादी नहीं करेगी क्या लड़की? सर्कमटेंस है, ये सारी चीजें देखना है हमें, क्यों? वो तो देखिए, पहले दीन के हिसाब से फैसले जो होते थे, अब मेंटेनेंस सूट हमारे मुल्क के अंदर लाखों के मेंटेनेंस सूट पेंडिंग है, 3-3, 4-4 साल लग जा रहे हैं। सर मुझे कंप्लीट करने दीजिए, उसका क्या है? उसके बारे में भी तो करना चाहिए ना सर। आप मेंटेनेंस देने की बात कर रहे हैं तो कब तक देंगे, और ये सूट कितने दिन में कंप्लीट होगा? जो पहले पेंडिंग केसेस है पिछले ये के 5 साल 6 साल से लोगों को मेंटेनेंस मिल रहा नहीं है अभी तक भी, उसका क्या करेंगे फिर? तो ये सारी चीजों को देखना चाहिए। देखिए, दीन हमारी बराबर इसके ये इस्लाम औरत के हुकूक के लिए बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट सोल्यूशन निकालती है। हम अगर सुनिए, और बराबर इस्लामिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, शरई पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अगर हम करेंगे तो ये बराबर पहले से मेंटेनेंस दिया जा रहा है, ये नया नहीं है, और पहले से भी कर रहे हैं, बट इसको एक लिमिटेशन लगाना जरूरी है। इसमें अगर लिमिटेशन नहीं आएगी तो बहुत बड़ा इश्यू हो जाएगा।
नहीं, क्या लिमिटेशन की बात कर रहे हैं आप? जो दीन की बात कर रहे हैं, यहाँ तो इक्वालिटी की बात है, न्याय की बात हो रही है। अगर मुस्लिम औरतों को उनका हक दिया जा रहा है आसिफ सोहेल, तो उसमें क्या गलत बात है?
देखिए, बराबर दिया सर। सुप्रीम, देखिए, मुसलमान औरतों का हक दीन से बढ़कर, शरीयत से बढ़कर कोई नहीं देगा, मैं आपको बता दे रहा हूँ।
नहीं, ये आप कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे उनके लिए? अंबर जैदी, शाजिया इल्मी दोनों आपको जवाब देना चाहते हैं। क्विकली, अंबर जैदी, जवाब दीजिए, आप आसिफ सोहेल को क्या कहना चाहते हैं? बोलिए।
डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे, नहीं मौलाना पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड डिसाइड करेगा कि मुस्लिम महिलाओं को कौन से क्या अधिकार मिलेंगे।
इसके ऊपर कंक्लूड कर सकेंगे।
पहली बात है, you better understand and read the Constitution of India. Everybody is equal before the law. You are nobody to decide who is going to get what. Criminalizing triple talaq is different story. If you are committing some crime, अगर आप कोई गुनाह कर रहे हैं तो आपको उसकी सजा मिलेगी। लेकिन गुजारा भत्ता तलाक होती है,
जेंडर इक्वालिटी के बारे में हो, औरत के हुकूक के बारे में हो,
अरे अगर नहीं आसिफ सोहेल, अगर आप बोल रहे हैं इस्लाम में जेंडर इक्वालिटी है, then you should be welcoming this. Then what is the problem? Then why are you saying what you are saying? If you are all for gender equality and gender justice, then you say that this is that this is good for Muslim women.
हुकूमत कमा कर देगी क्या?
हुकूमत थोड़ी दे रही है, जुडिशरी दे रही है, न्याय कर रही है, इसमें हुकूमत कहां से आ गई आसिफ सोहेल? एक बात बताइए, नहीं, एक बात बताइए आसिफ सोहेल, 1 मिनट, are you saying Asif Sohail, 1 minute, Ambar Zaidi, 1 minute, let me ask him a straight question. Asif Sohail, ये बताइए कि आप डिसाइड करेंगे अंबर जैदी को के साथ न्याय होना चाहिए, उनके साथ क्या कितना मेंटेनेंस, क्या आप डिसाइड करेंगे? मुस्लिम महिलाओं के लिए आप बोलेंगे या उनको हक होना चाहिए बोलने का?
सर देखिए, मैंने आज आप बात कर रहे हो, आप एक जजमेंट को लाके, ये तो जजमेंट से पहले शरई कानून के हिसाब से पहले भी दिया जा रहा था। ये लोग को कोई नया नहीं है ना सर। उनके इद्दत के दिनों के पूरे पैसे दिए जाते हैं मेंटेनेंस, और बच्चे के, देखिए बच्चों के बारे में तो क्लियर बताइए ना।
नहीं, शरीयत के हिसाब से देने और ये जो लॉ है इसके हिसाब से देने में फर्क है। शरीयत के हिसाब से जो मेहर की रकम तय होती है सिर्फ वही दिया जाता है। शाजिया इल्मी रेस्पॉन्ड टू आसिफ सोहेल, देन आई ब्रिंग इन रतन शारदा इनटू दिस।
मेहर से हटकर
जी, मुझे
लगता है
मेयर से हटके
जी।
भी दिया जाता है सर, ये तो गलत।
Amber, I'll come to you. Let Shazia make her point quickly. Okay, one person at a time. Shazia will be speaking.
या कैन आई प्लीज कम इन? आसिफ जी, आप क्यों या तो आप ज्यादा इसके बारे में आपको जानकारी नहीं है, और इस तरह की जनरल बातें कर कर आप किसको गुमराह कर रहे हैं? आप भी जानते हैं कि देश में शरीयत है नहीं, तो शरीयत के तहत ये दिया जा रहा था, अपने आप में ही बात गलत है। दूसरी बात, जब सारे मुसलमान कानूनों के लिए और इंसाफ के लिए सिविल लॉ को और क्रिमिनल लॉ को, यानी कि आईपीसी और सीआरपीसी को अब तक मानते आए हैं, तो जब बात आती है तलाक की या फिर निकाह की या फिर इनहेरिटेंस की, तो आप बताइए उसके लिए आप पर्सनल लॉ को क्यों मानते हैं? तब इस्लाम खतरे में क्यों नहीं आता है? तब शरीयत को क्यों नहीं इन्वोक किया जाता है? इसी मामले में आपको शरिया याद आता है। आप कीजिए कि आप सीआरपीसी और आईपीसी के खिलाफ हैं। जब महिलाओं का फायदा हो रहा है देश के कानून से, जिसमें उनको बराबर का हक मिल रहा है, न सिर्फ मर्दों के साथ बल्कि और उन सब महिलाओं के साथ जो अलग अलग धर्मों से है, तो इसके खिलाफ आपको क्यों दिक्कत है?
Let's bring in Ratan Sharda. Ratan Sharda, you've heard the arguments. How do you see this, sir?
इसके बारे में क्या है?
It's unfortunate they're mixing up religious issues with the gender issue, with the gender justice and human rights. Do Muslim women have lesser rights than the other women? That is a question we should ask. I have gone through the entire debate on triple talaq. I have attended many debates, and every time some of the people said that Sharia is above constitution. Should we allow that to happen in a secular country? Should we allow that to happen? Are we Pakistan where this Sharia law being used for the people? We are a secular country. The Muslims who chose to stay in India chose because it's a secular country, or they would have gone to Pakistan. Secondly, this question of contract being implemented, women can ask for the different clause in the contract. There was an interview 10 days back on ANI by a lady called Jameel Nishat, who talked about minor girls being trafficked and married off to rich sheikhs. Do they have a right to have their own contract? Do they get a chance to write their own compensation? And 3 months compensation as per these people's, these advocates of Sharia, does it equal to the lifelong, compensation? I agree there are questions whether how long the compensation will continue, but that's a generic issue. That is not an issue specific to this particular case. If the lady says that they already were getting this kind of maintenance, is the girl who went to court, she's out of her mind that she's spending lakhs of rupees in Supreme Court? And why is the husband saying that I will not pay? Why is he opposing it? Why the lawyer says that no, under Islam I will not pay? That means there are serious issues. A husband can refuse, and then perforce the lady has to go to High Court, Supreme Court. We should be embarrassed that a woman has been abandoned where she has to seek to go to Supreme Court and Higher Court to get justice for herself. That is the question. Are we a civil society? Are we a secular society? Are we living in some Taliban state? That is the question we should ask.
Sanjay Jha, 20 minutes into the debate, your hand hasn't gone up. Either you agree with what the Supreme Court has said completely, or there's a twist in what we are going to hear from you.
Pranesh, good evening to you and the fellow panelists. I want to say one thing. Give me as much time as you gave Shazia Ilmi, and without any interruption from either you or her, and I will make my points in half the time that she took. Number one, I'm borrowing from my friend Ratan Sharda ji, whom I personally have a very good relationship with. He's right. In a secular country, Ratan Sharda ji, does a prime minister make hate speeches against 200 million citizens who happen to be Muslims? Does a prime minister ever do that? Question number one. Question number two, everyone is talking about Shah Banu, but can we bring the attention to Bilkis Banu? Gang rape in the 2002 Gujarat riots when Mr. Modi was the chief minister, and the rapists are released on the 75th year of India's celebration of the Independence Day, and the central government knew when Mr. Modi is the prime minister. You think we should not be talking about Bilkis Banu? She had to cry for justice. Point number three, lynching cases. I love the hypocrisy and the fraud of the Saffron Parivar. They talk about Muslim women, but when Muslim men get lynched to death on suspicion of cattle trading, who suffers? Who suffers? Who cries? Who becomes a widow? Will somebody answer that question? Point number 4, when people in religious congregations call for the genocide of Muslims and the government looks the other way, you really are talking about a secular society? You're talking about respecting India's constitution? I think these are the fundamental points, Pranesh. You know, we are losing ourselves in this intricate nitty-gritty of what happened in the Shah Banu case. Let me tell you, since everybody here claims to be an expert, I have also read that judgment 10 times over. Let me tell you what Rajiv Gandhi did. Rajiv Gandhi turned that judgment around because he was advised by senior Muslim clergies who were in charge of the religious affairs of the community that you should try and not allow this to happen.
Why? That's the question. Why did he give in to the pressure?
1 minute. You can call it as a political error that the Hindutva later on exploited and led to the rise of the BJP. But I don't think he did it with any nasty intent. There was no need for him to polarize anything at all. He had 414 seats in the Lok Sabha. For God's sake. I mean, try and understand the larger context that it was...
No, let's have that conversation on the larger context. Why did Rajiv Gandhi bring in this law to overturn the Supreme Court verdict? You are saying, look, this was an innocent move. And the points that you were making earlier, it's not as if Hindus have not been lynched, Mr. Sanjay Jha. There has been lack of outrage on that also.
Is that your defense?
And there have, and you know, 1 minute. You've been on many panels with us on Times now. When we've taken up such subjects, there is a profound lack of outrage in such cases too. So let's not go down that route. Let's stick to the subject we are discussing. I just wanted to tell you that because, you know, you were talking about it. Now, Ratan Sharda is responding to the point you made.
Yeah, but I hadn't finished, Pranay. You interrupted me.
You can carry on. You had 5 minutes more than anybody else.
Oh, really?
Can I now?
No, I'll come back to you, Mr. Jha. I'll come back to you. Let's get a response. I'll come back to you.
See, first of all, Sanjay Jha is very clever. He always diverts the debate. Question is today's Supreme Court judgment. Is it about Gujarat riots? Is it about anything else? Is it about political speeches? So don't divert the issues because you don't want to commit that what has been said by Supreme Court is correct. Because that will kill your secular credentials to get back in Congress. Now, point is, Modi ji has been acquitted by Supreme Court. You'll keep on quoting it. Bilkis Banu and their accusers got punishment. You are talking about that. I have a list of more than 100 Hindu activists killed during the same period when you talk of 4 or 5 lynching done against cow smugglers. Cow protectors have been killed. I have a whole database of that. So don't talk of that. And when you talk about Kalji, I'm sorry. Today you have articles way back from the time when one of the politicians who stood up in the parliament to oppose this particular judgment was the one who tried to influence Rajiv Gandhi, according to one, Mr. Rashid Kidwai, your own friend in Congress. Second is a claim that MJ Akbar tried to influence the decision. So what are you talking about? There were no clerics on the scene. It is unfortunate that a PM who had 450 or plus seats got influenced by politicians, didn't have his own mind. That is the reason Muslim women went on suffering. Poor Shah Banu, a very poor lady, what did she get out of it? So don't try to divert that case. You just say whether you like the judgment or not, whether you will go with the Sharia-loving people or you will go with the secular state. Then we can debate about Gujarat.
Let's get the response now.
Pranesh, here is the short answer that Mr. Sharda is going to duck and avoid. If indeed, Mr. Sharda, your government had actually been a secular party, and one of the reasons why you got defeated or you did miserably in this election is because when you were talking about changing the constitution, you were not just threatening the people from the lower caste in the Hindu caste system, but everybody knew that your leaders wanted to remove the word secular. Your intent to create a Hindu Rashtra, which the RSS wants.
I must answer.
But Pranesh, Pranesh, 1 minute. Why is he interrupting me? Why is Ratanji interrupting me? I have respect for him. Let him demonstrate.
I just raised my hand.
Anyway, Pranesh, here is my last point. Let us come to the brass tacks. If indeed the triple talaq was so good, you know the truth, it was actually posing a criminality and very easy to imprison people. Triple talaq was not as straightforward as it looks. And here is the fundamental point. Why did the Muslims and the minorities, not just the Muslims, but even the minorities vote against the BJP? Because they know that the BJP at core is a fundamentalist, is very religious-centric, and is following a policy of communal polarization led, unfortunately, by the Prime Minister himself.
Mr. Sharda.
Can I answer now? Yes. First of all, I am surprised that Mr. Sanjay Jha is actually defending the fake news spread by Congress. That the government is going to destroy constitution, that government is going to remove that reservation. It was pure fake news and there were news builders. Please, now don't disturb me. Now don't disturb me. Actually, Congress needs to be pulled to the court for spreading fake news to win election. Now you are disturbing me, please. Okay. We know, everybody knows the fake news. Everybody knows, used by AI is used to spread the word across UP and Rajasthan, everywhere, that BJP is going to destroy constitution and stop reservation. It is total fake news. You stood by it today defending it. That's really shameful for you to do that. And secular, is it a word so sacred for you that you are talking of? It was not in the original constitution. It was inserted in the constitution in 19... Now, why are you smuggling his mind? It is not true. It was inserted in 1976 when every opposition person was in jail. That becomes a fundamental question for you. And lastly, now since I talked about lynching, I'll just give you a few names. I hope he remembers. Harsha, Lavanya, Ramalingam, Nikita Tomar, Bharat Yadav, Ankit Saxena, Ankit Sharma, Hina Talreja, Vikas Yadav, Kiran Kumari, Chandan Gupta, Bandhu Prakash, Twinkle Sharma, Rupesh Pandey, Priyanka Reddy, Kamlesh Tiwari, Kishan Bharwat. These are all names for just 4 or 5 years. Do you feel regret for that? Why do you have even secularism bias when you talk of lynching in the crowds? New law is brought up with lynching by this government.
And
not
you
your
are talking
government.
about triple talaq, Sanjay Jha. Very respectfully, if the Congress party that you think espouses secularism or is the champion of secular politics, why did you oppose criminalization of triple talaq?
Because, 1 minute, what were we talking about in the triple talaq debate, Pranesh? Go back to it. We said that the law that was created by the BJP made Muslim men highly susceptible of being charged with a criminal intent and imprisonment even before they were given a chance to be heard. It was going to become an instrument of another political...
No, how? The courts, the courts were deciding. The courts were deciding on merit.
But let me try and tell you what Ratan Sharda has tried to do. Ratan Sharda has tried to divert attention on the larger issues that cannot be ignored. Remember, a discussion is now not held in isolation.
But you were talking about Gujarat riots, Sanjay Jha. You started it. You started by talking about Gujarat riots.
Yes. That tells you the ideological mindset of the BJP.
Oh, now the court will become...
But he's asking you a simple question. Do you applaud the Supreme Court verdict and do you think what Rajiv Gandhi did was abhorrent? Do you want to condemn it?
Okay, Pranesh, here is my personal viewpoint. When I believe that women emancipation has to be a priority, I personally feel that Muslim women getting alimony is exactly whatever they need for their maintenance is absolutely
you are personally
right.
Really, sir. You are not speaking on behalf of Congress.
No, I'm not speaking on behalf of
I think this is so terrible. I think this is very unfair that you're allowing one man to hijack the entire debate and to speak and obfuscate when we really need to discuss what is happening and what has the Supreme Court said today and its repercussions on people. And I want to tell Pranesh is very unfair. You do not allow I'm blaming the anchor. I'm blaming the anchor.
The anchor is getting blamed from both sides.
Will you allow
Shazia Ilmi is responding to you. What you were saying, Mr. Jha, let her say what she wants
to face the truth.
No, Pranesh, can I come in now?
Of course, ma'am.
Pranesh, would you allow me to speak now? You have allowed one person here to heckle everyone else and to obfuscate from the topic, knowing very well how important this is and how it affects and impacts millions of lives. How women suffer, women who've been discarded by marriage, who thrown out, who have nowhere to go. Their husbands don't want them, their husbands have taken another wife, their own family do not take them, they do not know where to go with their own children. And now they're being asked to get maintenance, which would prevent men from marrying and remarrying and divorcing and marrying again. And people don't want to discuss it. Even this discussion will be obfuscated, which is a very clever strategy. And tell me, Sanjay Jha believes in the Constitution. The Constitution talks about UCC. It talks about the directive principles. Sanjay Jha talks about minorities. Are Muslim women not Muslims? Are they not the real minority within the minority? Don't the Muslim women are the biggest minority and the most vulnerable minority within the larger minority? So what kind of rubbish and bunkum is he resorting to? And I also want to ask another question. For 40 years, no, I'm sorry, the relevance of this law, please listen to me. Sanjay Jha, do not obfuscate and run away. I will not let you run away. I will not let you run away and be too clever.
No, let her speak. Sanjay Jha, it's only fair that you listen to what she's saying and then respond. Let her speak. Sanjay Jha, please.
No.
You spoke uninterrupted.
Do not be
She's asking you a question. I'll come to you for a response.
Do you know something? Yes, and I want to ask you, you are talking about the constitution and you're speculating as to what BJP would do. Do you know what Rajiv Gandhi and Indira Gandhi did to the constitution? Do you know how they overturned the Supreme Court verdict and overturned it with an ordinance? Only because Islam khatre mein aa jata, only because All India Muslim Personal Law Board was sitting at your throat and demanding pressure and calling for pressure so that you would not cave to that. Do you know what happened after that? There was a law made, and I bring shame to this party, Congress party, and what it did to the lives of Muslims, because it impacted the lives of Muslim women who were thrown into an abyss of despair and denial. The law was made in 1986. And you know what that law said? That Muslim women who are divorced, discarded, thrown out ignominiously will only get maintenance for the period of iddat, which is 3 months. Isn't it shameful that the Constitution, Sanjay Jha, promises all women equality? Do you think...
So why are you laughing, Sanjay Jha? Why are you laughing? What are you laughing about?
Constitution, Samvidhan gives it to them.
What are you laughing about?
Yeah, because you're caught.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing.
Because you're caught now, because they've called you Samvidhan, Constitution.
Yeah, Shazia, let's listen to the response. You've raised important points. Let's get a response. Sanjay Jha, take a position. I asked you a question on triple talaq. You're not speaking up. Would you take a position on nikah halala? I don't know.
Okay, let me answer for you. When the BJP talks of the Indian Constitution, it is like Donald Trump trying to be a Dalai Lama. They have no interest in the Indian Constitution.
Indian Constitution.
They have no respect for the preamble. They have no respect for secularism. They have no respect for social...
Okay, let me bring in... No, 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me bring in Asif Sohail. Asif Sohail, what is your take on nikah halala?
You're running away. No.
What is your take on nikah halala?
सर देखिए काफी सारे इश्यूज है मुल्क के अंदर. आपको एक निकाह हलाला या मेंटेनेंस को लेके
मेंटेनेंस ट्रिपल तलाक निकाह हलाला ये इंपॉर्टेंट इश्यूज है.
कपड़ा मकान उस पर भी बात करिए सर.
देखिए इंपॉर्टेंट इशू नहीं है.
बुनियादी लेट्स कम फ्रॉम द बेस. लेट्स कम फ्रॉम द बेस. जमीन से आएंगे ना सर.
हाँ तो जमीन से आइए ना.
जमीन के ऊपर से बात करिए आप. वहां तक भी बात करूंगा बराबर में.
जमीनी जमीनी मुद्दे नहीं है.
जमीनी बुनियादी हक के बारे में बात करिए.
बुनियादी हक के बारे में
बात करिए. आप रिलीजियस इक्वालिटी की बात करिए. एजुकेशन इक्वालिटी की बात करिए.
आर दीज नॉट फंडामेंटल इश्यूज? क्या ये बुनियादी बातें नहीं है?
सारी चीजों के बारे में बात करिए.
आसिफ सोहेल को जवाब दीजिए. ये बुनियादी बातें हैं कि नहीं? ट्रिपल तलाक, मेंटेनेंस.
I would like to add one thing. Yes,
आपसे सवाल
absolutely.
मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ.
Absolutely, they are trying to divert from the basic topic, which is about
मेडिकल फैसिलिटी के बारे में बात करिए.
rights,
जेंडर इक्वालिटी के बारे में बात करिए.
Allow me to speak and put my point across. You've been speaking.
बोलने दीजिए उनको. देखिए उनको बोलने दीजिए. संविधान इजाजत देता है. बोलने तो दीजिए उनको. अंबर जैदी, मेक योर पॉइंट.
अरे सर
Absolutely, I'm equal citizen of the country. See, I would like to add one point on halala, because as I believe that halala is organized, or I would say that legalized rape organized by clergies of this country, and it should stop. And it is absolutely illegal, inhuman. And
okay, Asif Sohail says this is not the main issue. We should talk about Zamini issues. You heard it. We'll have to move on. There's another story that we are tracking. I thank all of you for joining us on debate number 1.